So it's a fast day. I'll be honest, I'm not as prepared as I try to be, but that's understandable. My shirt's not even done up, but it's all good because we really wanna learn together and get Chizzuk from Chassidus. We have the Tanya again, Baruch Hashem. I'm specifically using the lessons in Tanya because when you're learning a holy sefer from a holy rabbi, specifically Rabbi Shmuel Diamond of Laivy, the first rabbi of Chabad, and he was the Talmud of the Maggid and Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov, Zichus Yagin Aleinu, and it's a fast day, and you don't want to start bringing, we do have a beautiful set here of all the Svarim of Chassidus, but people want to join, they can always use it, but I don't want to make any mistakes. And Baruch Hashem, this sefer I actually got when I first did Tshuva, when I first came back in 1998, 99 in London, from the local Lubavitch Center. They had on the van a big Nike sign saying "Just do it," and it was a big thing in those days. These kind of like cool things, especially in London, England, more conservative. So the Chabad were like the ones standing out, coming to all our hangouts, bringing us l'chaims, bringing us to their pool table inside the Lubavitcher house, and they were a big part of my process of tshuva and university as well. So the first set of Sfarim I really bought from them was obviously the Tanya, and that had to be that way. And I've kept it. I think I lost it somewhere once in Yerushalayim, and then I found it again. So it's been around, it's falling apart, but it's Baruch Hashem, it's come with me a lot. The first volume I have is even like pages falling out, but I've managed to keep them all. And this is a sefer that I've been learning since I first did Tshuva in 98-9. I've been learning every day, thanks to Chabad.org as well with the emails. I used this sefer originally, and then I've been using the emails every day. I'm a little bit behind this weekend because I had a concert, and it sort of in Tel Aviv kept me busy with all the content and all the follow-ups, and there's a lot of action going on right now with Laivy and his brother DuvBear. There's a lot of stuff going on, like bookings, Alex Clare as well, Baruch Hashem. So things are moving in a good way, but it means I didn't get time to, but I try no matter what to do 2 lessons before Shabbos and to do every Sunday, Chitas, which David Jerome, who's been teaching here every day, I've been managing to do this for like 27-8 years, and go every day with Tehillim, with Chumash Rashi, trying to keep up every day, and connecting to the Pneumius Torah. And that commitment has changed me for life. And that's a big, important point. We had Shmuel Diamond in the community. You had a Shmuel Diamond. He was here by Shir David. He was staying just along here. I told him about the Shtiebel. And he has a lot of friends who daven here, Arya and Moshe and Surli, and a lot of the Chavra know him. Anyway, he came and spoke in Shir David, and it was very special. And he came by us for Shabbos Seudah, and he used to have a site called Torah to Change You. The Torah needs to change you. He now elevated it to bneialiyah.com. And the summary we're using, shout out to him, from his site, bneialiyah.com, and his new platform which he's building and with a lot of people involved already, is called The Blessed Life. So we've given him a shout out and people should check it out. It's very important to give encouragements to each other, to collab, to help share our different projects. We're old friends. And it says here in chapter 36 in the summary, which we've already started in the lessons in Tanya, conditions of the lowest world and the Torah. The reasons for the Simsim, says R Shmuel Diamond. Concealment is the language he uses for Simsim. I use constriction, his language is concealment, which is probably a better translation. The purpose of creation was Hashem had a taiva, the dwelling place in this world. Hashem wanted to dwell here. He didn't want to be flying around with angels and holy, holy, holy. He wants to be down here in this world. He has a taiva. Is the Hashem, we can describe him. He has this notion of desire to be in this world. The purpose for all this Simsim is to create reality where apparently separate entity of its own sense of selfhood, he says, Klipa V'Sitraka can exist. This is what we learned last time. The concealment can get so intense that these creatures are actually able to deny the existence of Hashem, Rahman al-Islam. And remember, what does that help us? It helps us have Bechira. It helps us when we meet people and we see online all these Bilams and Bollocks who want to curse Am Yisrael or hate God, and they're spreading that, God forbid, that darkness in the world. The eitzes of Bilam right now, Pashas Pinchas. We see Pinchas has to come and destroy those eitzes, destroy the bad advice from the evil people in the world. That's a war between good and darkness, and Pinchas is the one who stands up I was just listening to Yishai Riba on the way, Yishai Riba, also him, but I was listening to Yishai Fleischer on the way down, and he's somebody standing up with light and fighting it. I found even a non-Jewish podcast called Trigonometry. Have you heard of Trigonometry? They're good friends with Rogan. They come on him. Please God, they'll go back on and say some of this stuff, or they'll send this guy Nick Freister, I think his name is. He's a Green Beret, not Jewish at all, very moral, very similar to like another Jacko. If you ever heard of Jacko, he's a big guy, another Navy SEAL guy. These guys are like gone through a lot, seen a lot, and they have the facts on the ground, and they can't be bought off. They're just strong, moral people who have agenda to bring truth and morals and facts to the world. Not Jewish, almost Chassidus, almost alone probably. So that he came on this podcast and just said truth, and just explained what's going on here. And thank God, there's Jews sharing his it was an 8-minute clip. I can share it. I'll put it on the link actually on this episode, because one of the points that we're going to learn in Tanya, we're going to say it in a second, is the whole point is Hashem wants to dwell in this world, specifically where there's all these lies and all these people who are against Am Yisrael. And thank God, he'll find a non-Jew who will be receptacle to the truth, who won't become crazy from lack of Yiras Hashem or lack of Chokhmah. They'll still have clarity that Am Yisrael are not committing genocide, we're not committing anything crazy the way we're being described. We're good people, we're moral army, amazing people. Once again, we dedicate this learning to Meir Shimon ben Gabriel. And let's go now into the actual text. When we bring the Or Ein Sof into this dark reality, the transformation of this darkness into light causes much pleasure to his creator. And that's what we're going to learn now. Creating this tremendous Nachus Ruach, this divine pleasure to Hashem by being in this world in the lowest places. The purpose of all this hishtalshalos, all these levels, these chains of events, all the way down, all these madregas, slowly Hashem, it can be quick as well, but the way we understand it in an intellectual way, this process of divinity coming from the highest realm all the way down to the lowest worlds, of the highest and the lower level, is not for the sake of the higher worlds. You read them all, since from them there constitutes a descent from the light of his countenance. So when we're talking about this world, Olam, remember we learned, I think we mentioned this last time, when we say a bracha, please God, after this fast, we're going to make lots of brachas, the simcha. Make a bracha on coffee, I think that's one of the first things I'm having. Yeah, coffee, we're going to say Sha'kol, but before we say the Sha'kol, we're going to say bracha ta Hashem Elokeinu Melech ha'olam, the Melech, the King of the world. And what's ha'olam? He says here that olam means concealment, and the fact that Hashem is concealing from the highest worlds by their very existence, descent from prevailing level of godliness that preceded their creation. It is logical then to say the revelation where the higher worlds represents the purpose of Shtalshalos, because there it's already Hashem's revealed. The purpose of Shtalshalos is Melech ha'olam, to become king of this world. What? The world of concealment. That's the point. Not in the place where it's all revealed, where Hashem's ponecha, his face, his countenance. We're going to do it in a minute. Say before we say Yichunecha, we say Ponech, the Hashem's countenance. One of the purposes of Birkas Kohanim is to bring down, and on fast day we say even by Mincha, to bring down Hashem's countenance into the lowest place and bring it down in the most fast way. The Derech Mitzvah brings this concept that we're bringing the Shekhinah down into this world. That's why Birkas Kohanim is such an important part of davening. All the tefillahs go up at that point because we're bringing down and Mincha on a fast day is at the highest moment. And we're learning now one of the highest svarim. The purpose of Ishtashlus is this world. The whole point is this world. That's what we're here for. We're all about this world. So when you meet someone who's very high, you think, wow, he's such a high soul. People said that about me back in the day when I first came to Israel. Wow, what a high soul. That's great, but the main point is not being high. The main point is what you do with this world. That's the point. You can be high and then just get float around. With the Gornish, you have to impact the world. That's why for me, even if I didn't make a huge amount of dosh, I did this concert recently, but there was a big impact. A lot of different people came, a lot of connections, a lot of neshamas. Even just being by the JT Laivy, their venue, and seeing the blown out windows. I was mentioning it to Chabad Mashpir in America, who wants to bring Laivy and myself, and I'm doing a big Hanukkah event, and the non-Jews there are very interested in the proud Israelis. They want to meet us. People have children in the army. They even want to meet the soldiers. So I was saying to them that I was just in a place where the windows were blown out, and if you drive a bit further on Allenby, all those buildings are blown up. Like you can see, beautiful buildings blown up. Thank God this place was just the windows, so they managed to cover the windows. So we still had the event rescheduled. It was meant to be during the war, but it was rescheduled. But the rest of the street but what's amazing in Tel Aviv, everyone's around and about. Fine, people can't live in those buildings yet, but people are up and down, life is moving on. We went down certain streets, it was packed, rammed. You know, it's like as if no war ever happened, Baruch Hashem. Even though we see there is still a Rishima and we need to rebuild. Shekayach, Ola Baratzani Sprach, Lius, Nachus Ruach Sprach, Kad, Eskafia, Sitra Achra, Meshafruch, Chashukala, No'ira. The purpose of Ishtalshus in this world, for his will, that he find pleasurable when that Yetzirah, the other side, is subjugated to holiness, and the darkness of Klippa is transformed into holy light. That's the point. So now Tel Aviv becomes a place of Avodas Hashem. You know, these two brothers. You heard of Laivy Miller? You heard of you know Matzio? So Laivy Miller and DuvBear, they started singing Hashem Melech, like in the middle of Tel Aviv, and they're singing Shema, like the Matzio used to do in all his concerts, maybe still does. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Melech, Shema. They said the actual, you know, the whole pasuk, and they're bringing like Hashem into this place in Tel Aviv. Well, usually, you know, this has to be a good venue, but the point is to bring, you know, I saw Kosher Dills, I think he's doing an event in Tel Aviv somewhere, to bring in his Jewish hip hop vibes into a place where not everyone believes in Hashem. But deep down, I think during this war, a lot of people realize they do. I think that's also the war accomplished tremendous revelation of Gilui, of awe of Hashem. And, you know, and I've seen my own family, I've seen my own son from the army. He's got much stronger than before he even went to the army, you know, after everything he's gone through. You know, he asked me, I got a message this morning when I was davening here. I these messages I don't mind, my wife tried to call me. My wife calls me, I know it's important. So I look at it, what is it? My son wants to take the Kutia Maran to the base. He wants permission to take it. It's a very nice version of it. I got it from Roshul Marish. I said, take it. Yeah, so he's taking it to the base. That's Nachus Ruach. For me, when you see somebody's gone through so much, that's what he's bringing, that's what he's asking, can he have permission to take? Yeah? Shior Or Hashem, Ein Sof Baruch Hu, Mokum Choshech, V'Sitra Acha, Shekol Olam Hazeh Kulo. So that in this place of darkness, Sitra Acha prevailing throughout this world, the Ein Sof light of God will shine forth. So the whole Chizzuk is that Hashem's Or Ein Sof, his infinite light, is shining forth in the place of the other side, of Choshech. We all know what Choshech, darkness. Tamuz, the Os of Tamuz is Ches, which is the first word of Choshech. The whole point of Tamuz is to bring, it's amazing we're learning this now, of Sodok, B'nai Soska, all the holy Svarim that talk about in Chassidus about this Chodesh is about turning the Choshech into Or. What happened on the day of the Egel Azab today? There was a tremendous darkness came down. Before Moshe died, that's why they started doing the Avodah Zarah. There was this darkness, confusion, the other side is making a balagan. Comes Yeshua ben Nun, comes the Leviim, comes Moshe Rabbeinu with the Luchas, and reminds them of the awe of Hashem. In that place of craziness, at that time of Avodah Zarah, comes Amsa, and we're not afraid to promote and advertise that we've gone through mistakes, we make mistakes, we're human beings, and we're able, as Yishai Fleischer said on his podcast, we're able to be honest throughout history of and be responsible for our downs, for our lows, for our confusions, and to deal with it. Not pretend we're holy and holy, pretend that we've got issues, the Jewish people, but yet, as much as we have chutzpah, but we use it for Avodas Hashem. As much as it says we're stiff-necked, the stiff-necked is a tremendous power as well. When you meet a stubborn Jew, akshan, a stubborn Jew is a powerful thing. I've been called that by very holy people. They said to me, you have a lot of akshanas, a lot of stubbornness, and that's a good thing. Being stubborn against the other side is a koyach. Transforming these seemingly not good traits into good traits is part of what we do. Yeah, it's not just transforming places and music; it's transforming actual character traits, and that transforms the darkness into light. And that's what the whole Chodesh Tamuz is about. The Ches becomes a Chochmah. Chochmas Hashem is Or. Orli becomes the light of Hashem. Yosa says for Yosa Oz, we saw an Or min Choshech, with greater strength and intensity, with a superior quality of light that emerges from the darkness. Maharaso Balomos Elyonim. Because when the darkness is transformed to light, the result is superior. It's a higher light than the light from the higher worlds. Yeah, the original light of Bereshit is a higher light when we come and turn this dark world into a place of light. It's a bigger light. It's a superior light. It's the point of all this creation. This is the tachlis of why the world was created, for us to turn darkness into light. And this, the Bital is bringing this. The Rebbe Shlita explains why the Oral to Rebbe adds then its radiance in our higher worlds. Not satisfied with simply stating the ultimate purpose of creation for that is will that is to find pleasurable. So the point is to show that in that place where Hashem's revealing Himself, it's not as high will, or it's not the purpose to be in that higher place. The purpose is to be down here. And the purpose is when Hashem's not revealing Himself, where it's hidden and concealed. And we're transforming that concealment into light. We're transforming it into revelation, into Hashem's light. That darkness is being transformed. Those difficult moments, that pain, that suffering, the fast day is being elevated through this mincha we're about to have. Yeah, this is the purpose. Shemei Sham Ayidei Levushim V'Hest Aponim V'Starim V'Alamim Or Ein Sof Baruch Hu. We're just to the last part now today. There in the high words, it shines through the garments, through the concealments of countenance. This is the panemius, light which conceals and screens the Ein Sof. So in those higher worlds, there's no Inyan of Bital Messias. That's only going to happen through transforming this lower world. And the purpose is this lower world, this world, into light. That is the point. Not the higher worlds where there's no concealment. Because there's no Bital Messias. It doesn't reach that high level of Bital. Remember, Chabad learning, the Madrega of one of the main points of Tanya is to get to a level of Bital. But what does Bital accomplish? One of the main points it accomplishes when you nullify yourself to the higher will in this world is it transforms darkness into light. It transforms Yesh into Ayin. It transforms Choshech into Or. And that is what a day like today, one of the things we have to try to tune into is that Moshe Rabbeinu was bottled to Hashem. Even his name has in it the letters Mem and Hey surrounding a Shin, which is like fire, like light. The Shin is like the Shina. And the Mem and the Hey is Ma Nachnu, Ma. They were on the level of Bital. So we know Moshe Rabbeinu was on the level of Bital. So they thought that Inyan of Bital was dead. And we need to become a Yesh. We need to make an Avodah Zorah. That's the test. The only way we can get through is have this physical sadik, this physical expression of our Judaism. What's the true level? Back to Moshe again. Bitul Yesh, to become nullified to Hashem's infinite light in this world, and that brings purpose to this world, and it's the highest Nachus Ruach you can bring to Hashem, and it's the highest revelation of light in creation is when we transform this world into light. And we have that power every day. When we make a sharp call after this fast day on our coffee, that is making more of a Nachus Ruach than the actual fast. And we should be zocher to that revelation. Amen v'amen.
Amen.
Thank you.